Hey, bring a trailer. I am gonna do a walk around on this 67 1800 and show you all the dings and little dents and little cracks in the paint and the little rock chips on the car. And if you're not interested in seeing those things, well, this video might not be for you. But if you are interested, I'm gonna show you everything there is to see on this car. And you know, we're gonna start at the front here and start on the chrome surround. I did pop the hood so it's not all the way tight. For all you diehards, it's unlatched. All right, I also am going to do a magnet video. I'm going to pull a magnet. First time I've pulled a magnet on a car, just because I want to tell you guys where it sticks and where it doesn't. There's only 3 areas where a magnet won't stick on this thing, and I think you all will know where they are. But anyway, we'll get to there in a second. A magnet sticks on the whole front. There's no filler, bondo, cracks, chips, anything like that. On the front here, the surround is dent and ding free, but there are signs of pitting, little tiny pits. No chips or cracks or deep ones, just you know, maybe you could use a nice little buff. And the bumper is nice and straight, the grill is nice and straight. Going down the left nose here, all solid. There's a little bit of a crack, scrape right there. It's not a crack, I'm sorry, it's a scrape. And there's some just paint chips here, wear marks. I'm gonna guess this thing was painted in I'm gonna say late 80s, early 90s. The paint still holds a great shine, but it's definitely old. It does have the kind of the it's the stock chrome rings that go around the wheel. These come off and then you can see the wheel. It's painted gray. All these lips look great. No signs of bubbles or dings or dents here. The chrome, I actually put new chrome on. So there's brand new chrome on the side spears. All 6 of them are brand new. I just thought, you know, that's one thing that is an easy thing to do, and it definitely makes the car look very presentable. I'll throw in the stock ones into the auction. This side panel's great. Down here, there's 2 sides, or 2 areas on the rockers where a magnet doesn't stick. And it's gonna be a square inch, or 2 square inches right here. A magnet does not stick here. And you can see just some blistering here, but a magnet sticks here, just not, and it's in the exact same spot on the right side, but a magnet sticks all the way down. As well as there's a little ding right here in the rocker, the bottom of the rocker, but it's just, you know, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I didn't want to, you know, we didn't do any paint, or we didn't do any paint work to this thing. We didn't even do any rock chip fill. And you know, the story of the car just kind of speaks for itself. It's just been a long-term ownership car. It's been driven, and there are definitely some war wounds, but just really nice and straight and honest body. Besides the 2 rocker areas, there's no real signs of rust repair. The seams are there, both seams. Back here is great. You know, along the door here, there's going to be some scratches down here, and then you know, there's like a little scratch here. Window, all the windows are great. There is a little tiny, windows are great except for one little rock chip, which is going to be below the wiper blade. Right above the wiper blade is a little, just a little chip right there. Back here, the quarter panel's great. There's like a little rock chip here, a little scrape. You know, there's just some signs of age. You know, rock chip, rock chip, rock chip. The spear's nice here. There is going to be a ding on this little piece of chrome, the window chrome. You can see it right there. But nice and tight, doesn't leak. Gave it a few different baths and no water at all inside. The rear here, this is going to be another area right over here where a magnet does not stick. It sticks on the bottom, over here, but it does not stick right behind the license plate light. So it does not stick this little 8-inch area. Now, inside there's cardboard matting, and I pulled it out and there's metal there. So but just to be honest, and everybody wants to know where a magnet doesn't stick, it doesn't stick right here. And it's lightly sticking around this back area. There is some cracking and checking along the whole back here, as you can see. Okay, so obviously it's been repainted, and that's why it's cracking. It could be just old paint, it could be bad prep, but yeah, there's cracking and checking here and on this lip, but that is it on the car. A magnet does not stick between the O and the V right here. Well, it sticks, but it pulls right off. I'll show you a full video of that when we get to it. The trunk gap looks pretty good. You know, it's not totally great. There's a little bit of extra room right here, but overall it shuts and opens nicely. The right side of the quarter panel is great. No rust bubbles, which is usually they gather on the rockers and they're down here, but everything down here is solid. I'll pull a video up of underneath it. Over here, the quarter panel is great. Again, there's new chrome on both sides. All the windows are original Volvo windows. All the logos are on them. Down here, there is just some wear and tear, rock chip, you know, scrape from somebody's rubber shoe getting in, probably a kid, not my kid, but some other kid. And then there's rocker seams on both sides. And this is the other area where a magnet doesn't stick. It's right here, right in the front. And there's some blistering right there, but nothing crazy. And then across the whole door, it looks like there's a scrape that was, you know, they tried to fix it, but you can see some overspray on this door right here, just right here. But it's hard to tell when you're 5 feet away, but when you get pretty close, you can see there's just a strip of, you know, strip of paint that's going across the door. But the door does, and this door sits a little open on the bottom here. Like the gap is a little bit thicker than up here, but it shuts nice. Windows open, shut, roll. This side, again, there's a few rock chips here and here. No blistering, all metal, no seams back here, weld seams or anything like that. And then back to the nose. This is a nice surviving car. The seams on the front here look good. It could probably be adjusted. There's a little bit of extra here compared to this side, but it's hard to notice unless you're looking for it. Inside the engine bay still holds the stock SU carburetors. You know, overall it's a solid mechanically running and driving vehicle in pretty dang good shape. It's been painted once in here. You can tell, you know, the paint doesn't quite match the this side of the hood, but still holds. You know, you probably aren't going to take first place in a car show, but you'll do pretty good here. Everything works down here. It shoots washer fluid. Nothing leaks. We rebuilt the carburetors. We put in new main jets and new gaskets on the bowls, new gaskets going into the intake, and then cleaned it up a little bit. They're dumping into 4-into-1 custom exhaust, then it dumps into a 2-inch exhaust pipe all the way to the back. It doesn't have the stock muffler, but overall this thing is just a solid runner. 180 plus compression on all four. It's in great shape. It's in tremendous shape when it comes to mechanicals. So I'll walk you into the interior here. You know, this side, this door opens and closes nicely. Seats are in pretty dang good shape. No rips or tears, anything like that on the seats. And I mean it, no tears at all. They're going to be leather tops and upholstery on the back. And then it has the good old Volvo rubber floor mats in there. No cracks on the dashboard at all. It's actually really cool to see that an original dashboard not cracked. And then the lower dash is extremely nice as well. You know, it's missing the original radio, which isn't a big deal, but well, you can get them at p1800.com from Don. I believe they're about 250 bucks. But that's a pretty cool radio. Headliner's in great shape. You know, there's no rips or tears. There's only one little spot on the back here that you can see. Let me see if you can tell me if you can see that. There you go. One little brown mark. So, but it's pretty unnoticeable when you pull back. And then, you know, oh yeah, the armrest here, the left side elbow, always gets worn out. So they just put a piece of leather over it right there. So that's one thing that we could. We have plastic covers for these things, but I don't like using them. They just don't have the same feel as a real armrest. But overall, the door cards are nice. Volvo. On that side, Volvo. It shifts and runs great. Stops tremendously. Brake booster works. The trunk here, nice and tight, and holds up fine. The tensioners are good. It has the original cardboard matting all the way around the back here. Original jack stand. There is no tool kit, but it does have the original manual. Nice spare tire cover, which is always nice to see, in good shape. And then good old spare tire with the nut and tie down washer. But yeah, the back here has all the original cardboard back here, still intact, which is always nice. Usually these get ripped out back here for whatever reason when people are working on electrical for lights, things like that. But overall, the trunk's in great shape. You know, it obviously has wear and tear on the wheel wells. These were never painted. I believe this is the original color, which is very, it's a very cool color. Color code 95-1, ice blue. And the hinges are in great shape. No signs of rust or damage on those guys. No squeaking. All right, so I'm gonna drag my Pro Gauge paint thickness gauge on this whole thing here, and you can see where it sticks, where it doesn't. And I told you guys that the front is totally solid, sticks everywhere you'd want it to stick. Which is a rare thing on these cars. Obviously the nose sticks out pretty far, and so that's always nice. There's the original seam there. And the hood up here is all solid. I don't usually worry about the hood having Bondo in it. These are the areas down here that I get worried about. So this panel's great. No stick here. So we got a 2" by 2" square, but it sticks right past that seam. Door is solid, so that would tell me area of corrosion that was fixed at the last paint job. Door solid. Rockers solid. And I'm going fast, but trying to do due diligence on this guy so you guys can see. Again, this is another spot where you want to be careful. But this guy's pretty. So here's what's really cool about this is this tells me that it doesn't stick here, but it sticks here. Okay, so it doesn't stick there, but it sticks around. If you can tell, this guy right here is the first thing to go if it gets fender bendered, okay, because there's no bumper. So it pushes in the O and the L and the V. So I've seen this on multiple cars before, where this gets pushed in, so this has to get bunked out, but there's metal here all the way down, and there's metal over here all the way down. Sorry for the bad camera work, but hey, it's all good. So yeah, so between the V, or I'm sorry, between the O and the V here, it doesn't stick until you get further down, but it sticks all the way across the bottom. So there's an area right here that there was some damage, and obviously there's cracking, but trunk lid, solid as rock. Solid over here. There's a few blisters down here that I missed in the walk around video, but there's like 1, 2, 3. But obviously you can tell it's solid. There's also one little spot right here that it doesn't stick to, but it sticks all the way around from the seam. And I can feel no welds here. And the lip is perfect, but for some reason it's not sticking here. So we will carry on. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 areas where a magnet won't stick. But as you can see over there, there's a little tiny rock chip, but overall no signs of anything. And over here, the whole car. Sounds like metal. And this is the other spot where it sticks, but it shouldn't. Right around here, it doesn't stick on the seam, but it sticks right next to it. So we had corrosion, I'm guessing, at one point, and somebody fixed it. And you know, obviously there's some blisters here, but still it doesn't stick. So we'll carry on. So there she wrote all of the areas of magnet not sticking. And I also wanted to say there was a little tiny crease. It's really hard to tell. There's a little tiny like crease right here. And it's really hard to see unless you are in person, but I'll try my best to get it right there. There's like a 4-inch crease. It looks like, you know, there was something that just did it. I don't know if it was a door ding or what, but very difficult to see, but nonetheless it's there. So there it is, a full magnet walk around. Okay, I'm gonna fire it up as well so you guys can hear it at idle here. It should idle right around 1100 RPMs. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free and post them on the comments or send me a direct message, and would love to answer any more questions anybody has. Thanks guys, happy bidding.